What's up, y'all? Oh my goodness. I know it's been a while, and I'm really happy to be here. Like, I can't even begin to explain the joy that I feel for being able to sit right here and speak to you again. With the year that I had near death experiences. I had very traumatic year. And the way when you keep doing your work, the way the divine just enwraps you and encloses you in the bosom of its love. Oh goodness. I'm here, ain't I? All right. So, I'm gonna do a reading today, and we are. I've already been kind of like paying attention to what the energy is and what we're gonna be talking to. I'm tapping into the collective that I'm speaking to has called me here to this moment to tell you something important, to tell you something that you needed to hear right at this moment, because there were some unseen energies that were battling you and your spirit team was fighting with you, but you took on a lot more than you needed to. You took on a lot more than you needed to. That's why you're exhausted. That's why you were exhausted. But I know you're starting to feel a little glimmer of light, a glimmer of hope. There's been some things that's been happening that's kind of giving you a bit of hope again, a light, so to speak, a light at the end of the tunnel. And there's been a reset, and it's been hard. I'm pretty sure that for you, this reset was very different than one you've experienced before. Like, this reset was one where you were observing things that you thought you got rid of. And now you're seeing those fears actually subsiding. Like, they're actually going away. They're starting to be under your control, rather your nervous system taking over for you in these moments. And now you're starting to have a bit more of a centralness to your nature. You're more calm, and it may not feel like it sometimes though. Like, things are very, very interesting right now. And so those are the things, like there's some unseen forces. Like, those are the things, new challenges that was, I wanted to make sure I told you what came up first before I turned the video on, even before we got here. And so this reading, new challenges is coming up. New challengings are coming your way. New challengings. They are going to be challenging, but it's nothing you can't handle. And it's something that you're ready for. And Spirit wants me to tell you that they've been trying to knock you upside your head to get you to listen. But Spirit don't operate by force necessarily. It's more like cause and effect, more like, maybe you ask for something and maybe you get a little nudge. Maybe something happens to nudge you and trip you over into your blessing and the thing that you asked for, right? But maybe you don't see it that way. Maybe you're upset with how Spirit be bringing things to you. Maybe Spirit seems to trick you sometimes into doing things because you're hard-headed, because you don't want to do what Spirit wants you to do. And it's not what Spirit wants you to do, it's what your spirit wants you to do. Remember that you're not a slave to anything outside of you, and you're not a slave to yourself, but you much rather be attuned to yourself than another, right? So as much as we've been wanting a partner to, solidify our existence, it's like, oh no, they've taught us that without that, we are, something must be wrong with us. We're nothing, right? That's what they teach us as women. It's like they teach us to look for a mate our whole life, while our mates they teach them to go for the dollar their whole life. So while we're chasing them, they're chasing the dollar. But who's chasing God? Who's chasing the divine? And this is where you are different. This is where you're different from the rest. This is where you stand out, because you recognize that it's not man that you are to be seeking out. You now recognize that it is your divine alignment that you're seeking out, that you've been seeking out this whole time. Now you got a zip line right to the divine right now. Like, it's open. There's an open, whoever I'm talking to, there's an open line right now to where you can literally, whatever your heart's desires, if you were to envision it so clearly right now, oh man, the energy would support it. But you got to stop the resistance. You got to stop the resistance. No more resistance, baby. Let things flow. Because don't you see that as much as you try to avoid the inevitable, that Sally always gets its way. Everything always happens the way we need it to happen. But sometimes we get bruised up and scarred along the way just because we couldn't be patient. We didn't have patience. And so the divine is recognized, though, that even though there were times where you didn't have patience, you still fought the good fight. You still showed up. You still kept your heart. What did I say? Keep your heart. 3 stacks. Keep your heart. You are marrying yourself. You're walking down the aisle to yourself. That is who you've been searching for this whole time. It hasn't been in another. You've been searching high and low in the mountaintops and all that. And the thing that you've been looking for has been inside of you all along. And you're beginning to recognize that. And so even this video is confirmation. It's not even something I'm telling you that you don't even already know. And it's like, what else do you need to know today? Like, what is your spirit asking you? Okay, take off the mask, baby. It's time to remove the mask, okay? Remove the mask. However, let me tell you something. These masks have protected you for a very long time. And sometimes there are masks that you want to keep. But when you go out and you have to not dim your light, but redirect your light. Sometimes there are rooms that you walk into. They don't need to see you in your full light. You're just there to observe. Because when you're in your full light, you are seen. You can't be not seen. Like, you're so amazing that your light it's almost blinding to those who aren't ready to see it, right? But when you walk into a room fully lit, oh man, they see you. But what is your offering when they see you? Because if you are in an inward phase right now, if you are inwardly operating, then to externally try to sit in things and try to do things outside of yourself when a time where you're supposed to be introspecting or insightful or in observance mode, rather, instead of, I don't even want to say insightful, because insightful indicates that you're analyzing something. We're not analyzing anything. We are simply looking, we're observing. And so when you're in that inner phase of observing your emotional makeup, how you respond, how your nervous system responds into these new challenges, because take this with you, because when these new challenges, you're about to walk into a life that you don't recognize. And I feel really strongly about that. I feel it all in my body. You're about to walk into a life that you don't even recognize. And when you walk into that life, you're going to need to know this. You're going to need to have your discernment. And you're going to recall all the things that you've been training for. All those fights that you inserted yourself in where the divine has you. You know, that you didn't really have to do all those things. You could have just sat back and trusted that things were going to work for you, not against you. You didn't have to go around and try to make things try to fix things or make things a certain way so it won't turn out this way. Like you didn't know that you didn't have to do that. Now you know, because you've watched the divine operate in your life now. So you're in a new place. And it's a wonderful place. But what you need to continue to take with you, not but, let me not say that, because I know people in their psyche now, they say you forget everything when you get a bud. No, don't forget everything I said. Remember, recall, because you're going to need to recall all those unseen things that have come up to the surface. Those are things that you're going to release when they come, because you being the observer, this is where the releases are coming in at. And so as you release the masks, the things that aren't you, you begin to see. And you get to that good juju, baby. You see your power, right? You recognize your power. And nothing can come take it away. Like, it's one of those things where when you know that when you know your power, you recognize that you protect it with everything. And if you start to feel it dwindling away, then you're so much into this good juju that you've been feeling, that you've been getting a glimpse of. You're so into that, baby. You can't go back. You can't unsee it. You can't go back to the comfort that you thought was comfortable that was really discomfort. You can't even go back to it because your nervous system, your body won't even let you. It's like, oh, no, baby. I done seen this before. I done been in my body, done been there before. No. But there are some things that you have to learn to actually appreciate, right? Some things you have to actually learn to see. And just like there's things in your life that have been thorns in your side, so to speak. And it's been programming, conditioning, telling you that something's wrong with you, right? But today, ain't nothing wrong with you, baby. Because now you recognize who you are. You recognize your power. Mother Earth energy, okay? You are grounded. You are grounded in your power. You are coming into new challenges. This is you. This is you. Anything over here that's going to represent blocks or anything. So any cards that fall over there, we'll deal with those. But this right here, this represents you. Your Mother Earth energy is earthing, baby. It just kind of looks like me. Yeah. I'm talking about like the eye, the head, and the blue, all the blue. And I'm an earth sign. It's funny. You know, I always feel like the readings are never just for I'm not coming to just talk to you. I'm talking to me too sometimes, you know. Sometimes I feel the resonance of me talking to self, you know, and be like, gratitude for the message. And sometimes I feel the sting. And that's something that has come over time, because as a reader, people's biggest downfalls when it comes to reading themselves is that we don't want to see certain things. So our mind literally it's going to protect us. It's not even going to, it's formulating things in a way that feels good, right? And then when it gets too bad, you're like, wait, no, I don't talk to myself that way. And so you're like, oh no. And somebody that's watching this is a reader too. I'm getting that too. So that's why this conversation is even coming up. But you may be like tapping into it more and more and more, and you're like, okay, you're still not comfortable with doing it for others publicly, and you don't have to, right? But you will do well. I'll just say that you will do well to learn yourself through these cards, in a sense of allowing yourself to break down those barriers. Like when you see certain things, allow yourself to receive it, right? Because there's a moment where we get in our mind, and in our mind, we try to, especially when you're on the path of evolution, and you're like, nah, my mind wouldn't talk to me like that. And so you start to try to find the discernment in your mind and your thoughts, because you see that not every thought is a thought worthy of like giving attention to, and not every thought is a thought of your own. Like sometimes you're sharing a sea of thoughts with the vibration of the thoughts that you're thinking about. So you have people in your vicinity that's having these other thoughts, and then you're picking up on them because you're psychic. We're all psychic at some level. Some of us more sensitive than others, some of us more developed than others, but you have the ability to see these things. And it's like sometimes you get it, it's easy to get it confused. I know the pain of that, of the confusion. And that is actually a telltale sign. If you start to feel the confusion, it's not you, right? Well, they say if it's confusion and it's not of God, your God self is not of you, baby. It's of something else. It's of another source. And you, because you are whole, you know self. Your soul knows thyself. That resonance that you'll feel, that'll be from wholeness. It'll be like it's a calmness, right? It's very calm. Now, intuition can be urgent, but it's still calm in its urgency. It's still more like a more consistent, but calm. Now, fear, that's the difference. People are like, how do you know the difference between your intuition and fear or something else? And it says, for fear, you deal with uncertainty, confusion, urgency in confusion. Like it's like, oh, like you gotta do it now. And it's like, wait, okay. If you're in real danger, intuition, paying attention is very important, because you could avoid a whole explosion by listening to intuition and the urgency of it, but it still comes in a calm manner. Like, I'll give you an example. I had no idea where my fire extinguisher was. No idea. This was my first apartment. Never used one before, ever in my life. Had a grease fire on the stove. My intuition guided me straight to the closet, right to where the thing was. I kid you not. I had no idea. I just moved in here not too long. Like I had no idea. But whether I saw it unconsciously or whatever, myself still guided me in a calm way, very urgently, quickly, because we got a fire going on. To the fire extinguisher to put the fire out. I am so thankful that I listened in that moment and I didn't panic and try to think of how to put this fire out. Because it's the moment where you try to think of how, that's when you come out of the now. Because you're trying to think of how instead of just being here, now. And the now will tell you everything you need to know. And this is why you have to learn to become one of the greatest observers you've ever known. You have to be your own best observer. And as a reader, it can be very difficult to observe yourself if you're analyzing yourself. That's why it serves you to just look. Just look. Don't try to come to a judgment about what you're looking at. Take notes of it. Take notes if you want to. Maybe you're worried that you're going to forget. Just write it down then and come back to it and analyze it from a different mind, from a higher mind. Because right now, the observing mind cannot analyze and observe at the same time. If you're analyzing, you've moved yourself out of observer. Observer is it's one of the highest places that you can sit. It puts you at a higher vantage point. It puts you in the seat of the divine. That is where you recognize your power. And then once you recognize it, then you can utilize it. But you can't use it properly until you recognize it. So, what are these chakra cards? So to me, that's what the grounding energy does. It's like the observing energy, you know, and her being looking above this earth, you know. Clarity. A lot of clarity is coming. A lot of clarity. This confirms that the fear is subsiding. That's because the clarity. You've had some blocks, some people trying to you know, I don't like when other readers talk about like other people and what other people were thinking and all that stuff. But sometimes it's confirmation that lets me know that they're in tune with where I'm at. But I really want to focus on you and not other people, because I know you may have questions of people in your life, right? I hear the questions right now, but really it's about you. Right now, it's about you. Like the questions that you have, Great Spirit. What do you want them to know the most right now? This collective, really want about themselves. Rebirth. You're going through a rebirth, okay? Self-mastery. Self-mastery, okay? You're going through a rebirth through self-mastery, okay? And oh my gosh, like your chakras are opening up. It may be time for you to do a Reiki clearing. I think that most of you that are watching this video, you may be Reiki certified and you can do it on yourself. If you're not, you don't know what it is, this is your nudge to go do some research, right? And get a Reiki healing session done. See what it's like. Get some understanding of it. I feel like if you're here, you already have some type of understanding of it. It just feels like it's something you haven't used a lot on yourself. That's it. It's just, I feel a feeling of a distance. Like it feels like you're distant from some of the gifts that you've had. And the divine is calling you back to your gifts. And you know what I'm talking about. You know the gifts that you have obtained and recognized over this time, and that you have not given practice or life to again. This is actually a part of your health. It is important to your health that you tap into these gifts. They are going to naturally heal you. That's why worrying about other people doesn't even matter, because as you work on your communication with self, with your heart, as you recognize your own heart, Your own needs, because that's what's really speaking to you. It's your own needs is trying to speak to you through other people. And it's trying to get you to the joy that is yours. This is joy, right? Yes. It's trying to get you to the joy that is yours. And for some reason, you've been fearing the unknown because of your past. And I get it. But you've gone through a lot, and the divine is telling you is you can rest a little bit. Because this next phase is going to bring new challenges, and you're going to need the energy. I don't say that to scare you. I say that to tell you with great responsibility, much is required. So, you've been preparing all of this time. Look back at all the jobs you've had. Telling you. You will find that you learned lessons that you could have never, ever thought that you could have thought you had to go to school to learn these things. But no, you learned them on your job. And while, many of us on the spiritual path can be resistant to jobs, so to speak, in the way that they are, more attracted to entrepreneurship, right? When you do have a job, if there's a time that you need a job, it is your duty to bring you to your job, not anything else. Bring you. That is where you're going to find your line of life support, your joy. That is where you're going to get the most out of your experience. That is where you break down the walls of resistance. Why did I say walls of existence? Yeah, you can break down those walls too, because you're dying to yourself in order to have the experience. It's crazy. It's like, oh, I gotta let that go in order to have this experience. I'll be releasing all the time, but you gotta be careful, okay? Just don't release your hunger pains, because then you're not gonna know when you're hungry. Anyways, we'll unpack that another time. Anyways, so now I'm just gonna ask, what can you release now, right now, from your past that has been affecting you? What is something that you could release right now? And I feel like I'm wrapping up. I want to wrap this up. What can you release right now? I'm hearing a J, hearing K. Isaiah. Okay. Yes. So, actually, in the book of Isaiah, there might be something there. I'm actually going to go get the book of Isaiah right now and open the Bible. Because it wants me to tell it something right now. Hold on. Okay. So, but now, so first of all, 888 at the top of the page. 888. All right. But now, O Lord, thou art our Father. We are the clay, and thou our potter. We all are the work of thy hand. Be not wroth very sore, O Lord, neither remember iniquity forever. Behold, see, we beseech thee. We are all thy people. Okay, I'm going to break it down bit by bit. I'm just going to read it all right? Until it tells me to stop. Thy holy cities are a wilderness. Zion is a wilderness. Jerusalem a desolation. Our holy and beautiful house, where our fathers praise thee, is burned up with fire, and all our pleasant things are laid waste. Wilt thou refrain thyself for these things, O Lord? Wilt thou hold thy peace and afflict us very sore? All right. Get some Judah appeals to God. So this is representative right now, because I asked about releasing, right? About what can you release right now? And this is a declaration. It first starts off when it says, Our Father, we are the clay, and thou art potter, and we are the work of thy hand. So this is the recognition of who we are, the divine, creator, the created. We are oneness, right, in our connection with the divine, right? We are not a mistake, okay? So be not wroth, very sore. I have no idea what wroth means, okay? So we're just going to use context, and I'm going to ask Spirit for guidance. I'm already receiving it right now. And so it says, neither remember iniquity forever. Iniquity, that's the sin of the heart. It's something that's within. So you are actually, right now, you're recognizing that you're of a divine nature. And because of your divine nature, that you release the iniquities on your heart. You don't hold on to them forever. So that means forgiveness. There's someone you need to forgive, even if it's yourself. Okay? Because we are all thy people. That's the oneness. The holy cities are a wilderness. Zion is a wilderness. Jerusalem, a desolation. Holy cities. Why would the holy cities be considered a wilderness or desolation? This is a part of the evolution of our soul. So you're in a place, you have to go through that desolate place. You have to go through the wilderness in order to come out on the other side. You are the lion. You represent the strength of the lion that walks through that wilderness, right? And you hunt your prey. Those are, you get rid of, you eat that which nourishes you, and you discard of the things that don't serve you. You discard of the bones of the things that don't serve you, right? And the things that afflict you, you're letting those things go. So Zion and Jerusalem represent a place within you, a holy city within you, inner city, right? It says, our holy and our beautiful house, where our fathers praise thee, is burned up with fire, and all of our pleasant things are laid waste. Now, it's complaining about a physical city, right? But in this context, we speak as above, so below. We speak in the metaphorical terms. This is how we speak, okay? This is how me, my soul, and I. This is how we speak, right? And when they're talking about these things are laid to waste, but this is outside of them. It's saying, can you hold your peace while the outside afflicts you? You're going through you've been going through the wilderness. And it's been very difficult. You've been going through the wilderness. You've been feeling loneliness. You've been feeling like no one understands you. You've been feeling that way. You've been wanting to communicate your heart, and no one has been really hearing you because they don't see you. I'm telling you, those who are seeing you, who are going to see you, you're meeting them this month, this year, this year. I'm not playing. Like, you can't even do nothing about it. your resistance won't even stop you from meeting certain people. Now, your resistance can stop you from recognizing it, but it won't stop you from the meets. All right? So, when we talk about releasing, we release the resistance to our own peace, to the joy of our own soul. We release that resistance. Now, it's many resistances now, so we got to be careful. So, I want to tell you that specifically, it's saying that there's forgiveness that needs to happen. There's someone or something that you need to forgive. And I really feel like you need to forgive yourself. There's some guilt that you might be holding on to still. That's not yours to carry. But we have the biblical wars and battles. There are a lot of things you picked up in your times of existence, incarnations, and there are things that your family has taken on, and they fought for their religion. They fought. And so when I pull this out and I see the Isaiah, I hear Isaiah, and then I see this, right? And then we open it, and here we are. We're Isaiah 888. Now, leadership. It's time for you to take the lead in your life. It's time for you to take the lead. And I am not getting that you have much to let go of beyond this thing. It's really heavy. It's something that someone did to you, but you've taken it on as yourself. And so it's been hard to differentiate. But you'll know what I'm talking about. Do some journaling. You'll know what I'm talking about. But it feels very heavy. Maybe it's from childhood. Maybe you were 6 or 7, or I'm getting 13 to 17 also. So it's different people in this collective, but those are the ages. Yep. Yeah. I feel it kind of, yeah, we're done now. I'm feeling like we're done. All right? So thank you for your time. Thank you for calling me to this moment to speak to you right now. I will say that you've been doing a wonderful job. Keep going. My wonderful co-creator. You're doing amazing. Don't let anyone tell you different. You're on the right path. If you need a confirmation, I know it's a lot going on in life, for good and questionable. But you, my friend, have passed all these tests with flying colors. These tests that you've given yourself in order to evolve into who your heart sees you as. So, keep going, baby. You're doing good.